At the age of 96, Queen Elizabeth II died recently. The news has saddened the country, with thousands of royal fans and celebrities taking to social media to express their condolences. As the world mourns the death of the longest reigning monarch in British history, many of us look back fondly on her life. From her loving relationship with Prince Philip, who died last year at the age of 99, to her most memorable fashion moments and iconic feminist moves, there's so much to remember about Her Majesty, and there's still more to learn too. Despite being one of the most well-known people on the planet, Queen Elizabeth II has a plethora of lesser-known and unexpected facts. So today we are here with things you probably don't know about Queen Elizabeth. Let's start the video. Number 15, she was not born as an heir to the throne. Princess Elizabeth was a minor royal for the first 10 years of her life, comparable to Princesses Beatrice and Eugenie of York today, but that all changed when her grandfather, King George V, died in 1936. The next in line was Elizabeth's uncle, Edward VIII, who abdicated the throne less than a year after assuming it, in order to marry an American socialite named Wallis Simpson. Because Edward did not have any children at the time, his brother Albert, Elizabeth's father, ascended to the throne, taking the name George VI and making Elizabeth, then 10, the first in line to become queen. Number 14, Elizabeth wanted to fight in the war, but she was too young. When World War II broke out in 1939, Elizabeth, then a teenager, begged her father to join the effort somehow. She began by making radio broadcasts to boost the morale of British children. During one of the broadcasts, the 14-year-old princess assured viewers, "I can truthfully say to you all that we children at home are full of cheerfulness and courage. We are trying to do all we can to help our gallant sailors, soldiers, and airmen, and we are trying too to bear our own share of the danger and sadness of war." Number 13, she eventually served in World War II. Despite the risks, Elizabeth eventually joined the Women's Auxiliary Territorial Service in 1945, when she was 18 years old, and trained as a truck driver and mechanic. Queen Elizabeth II was the only female member of the royal family to join the armed forces, and she was the only living head of state who served in World War II until her death. Number 12, Queen Elizabeth II married her cousin. Elizabeth and her husband Philip were technically third cousins. Elizabeth is related to Queen Victoria through her father, and Philip is related through his mother. Philip was born into the royal families of Greece and Denmark, but when he married Elizabeth, he renounced his original titles. They had been married for 73 years when he died on April 9, 2021. Number 11, she didn't tell her parents she was getting hitched. When Philip planned a month-long visit to her royal estate in Scotland Balmoral, in 1946, he proposed to Elizabeth. She accepted the proposal without even bothering to contact her parents. When George VI learned of the impending wedding, he said he would only officially approve if they waited until after her 21st birthday to announce the engagement. The official public announcement of the engagement finally came nearly a year later on July 9, 1947. Number 10, Queen Elizabeth II had 2 birthdays. Elizabeth, like most British monarchs, got to celebrate her birthday twice, and the reason is simple: seasonably appropriate pomp and circumstance. She was born on April 21, 1926, but April was deemed too cold and liable to fall during inclement weather. Instead, her official state-recognized birthday fell on a Saturday in late May, or more commonly June, to allow for a celebration during the warmer months. In the United Kingdom, the exact date varied from year to year, but it usually coincided with Trooping the Colour, Britain's annual military pageant. Number 9, her coronation was televised against her wishes. When her father, George VI, died on February 6, 1952, Elizabeth became queen for the first time at the age of 25. Elizabeth was in Kenya at the time of his death and returned home as her country's queen. Fans of The Crown will recall that the events surrounding her coronation were fraught with drama. The notoriously camera-shy Elizabeth refused to allow photos of her wedding. She didn't want the event televised, and others feared that broadcasting the coronation to commoners would undermine upper-class traditions of only allowing members of British high society to witness the event. A coronation commission, chaired by Philip, was formed to weigh the options, and they initially decided to only allow cameras in a single area of Westminster Abbey, west of the organ screen, before allowing the entire event to be televised with one minor caveat: no close-ups on Elizabeth's face. Number 8. She paid for her wedding dress using war ration coupons. Elizabeth, still reeling from the effects of post-war austerity, paid for her wedding gown with ration coupons and a 200-coupon government supplement. But don't let that fool you. The gown was extremely elegant, made of ivory duchesse silk, encrusted with 10,000 imported seed pearls, took 6 months to make, and had a 13-foot train. It cost just under $40,000 to recreate the dress for the crown. Number 7. Queen Elizabeth II didn't need a passport to travel. Elizabeth II was the world's most traveled head of state, having visited more than 115 countries and hundreds of official state visits. But she didn't even have a passport. Because all British passports are officially issued in the name of the Queen, she technically did not require one. Number 6. She reigned for so long that 4 out of 5 UK residents weren't alive when she ascended the throne. Most British people have never known another monarch besides Elizabeth, according to data shared by the UK Office of National Statistics in 2017. 81% of UK residents were not alive when Elizabeth ascended the throne. When her father died in 1952, she immediately became queen. She was the world's longest reigning monarch until her death at the age of 96. Number 5. During her 70-year reign, she met 15 different British prime ministers. She's also seen 15 different prime ministers of the United Kingdom. She most recently met Prime Minister Liz Truss on September 6, 2 days before the monarch died. Number 4. She owned all the swans and dolphins that swim in UK waters. According to the official royal family website, the British monarchy claimed all mute swans in the country as early as the 12th century. The birds were considered a delicacy back then. The Queen no longer eats those swans, but she still technically owns them. Every year, the Queen's Swan Marker, actual job title, leads the Swan Upping, a multi-day census to count the birds and assess their health. Furthermore, under the 1324 statute, the Queen can claim ownership of all royal fishes, which includes sturgeon, dolphins, whales, and porpoises found in UK waters. Number 3. Queen Elizabeth was wealthy, but she was not the wealthiest person in the United Kingdom. The Queen received funds from taxpayers, as well as from the royal family's private real estate holdings. In 2019, Forbes estimated her net worth to be around $500 million. That may seem like a lot, but the Queen is by no means the wealthiest person in the UK. Number 2. The Queen had her own private ATM. While the Queen rarely needs cash, she does have a private ATM in the basement of Buckingham Palace. The ATM is provided by Coutts Bank and is only available to members of the royal family. Do you want one for yourself? According to Tatler, Coutts banking is free as long as you have around £1.3 million in your account. That unfortunately rules us out. Number 1. The Queen bathed every morning in 7 inches of water. Yes, it does sound very specific. However, Her Majesty was a very specific woman. In fact, the Queen's maid would run her a bath every morning while she drank her cup of breakfast tea. The bath had to be exactly the right temperature, tested with a wooden-cased thermometer, and no more than 7 inches of water, revealed Angela Kelly, the Queen's former personal assistant. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching Celebrity Fab. We hope to see you soon with a brand new video and a fresh topic. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell to receive future updates.